welcome to the deep dive. So you sent us a whole stack of sources all about dietary supplements. It's a huge area, right? And honestly, kind of confusing. Are they just hype? Or do we actually need them nowadays? We're going to try and cut through some of that noise for you.
Yeah.
Your sources laid out the main types, what the evidence says about benefits, and how to actually choose what might work. Basically, we want to give you the quick version, the insights you need to feel a bit more clued in.
Exactly. And I think the first thing to get straight is what they actually are. Supplements, whether they're pills or powders or liquids, they're meant to add to what you eat, to sort of fill the gaps.
Fill the gaps,
That's
right? Because life gets in the way of that perfect diet sometimes. Or maybe the food itself isn't quite what it used to be.
That's part of it too, yeah. Soil quality, busy schedules, lots of reasons why we might not hit every single nutrient target every day. That's where supplements come in.
Okay, so let's unpack this. The sources break it down into about 6 main groups. We can start with the ones everyone sort of knows, the essentials, but maybe skip the really basic definitions and get into the why. First up, vitamins and minerals. Your A, C, D, iron, calcium, the classics. But instead of just listing them, let's talk about where things can go wrong, like vitamin D.
Oh, vitamin D is a huge one.
Yeah, we know it helps with mood, right? But one source really hammered home that, look, if you live in certain climates, you basically can't get enough from the sun for like half the year.
Mm-hmm. It's almost impossible without supplementing.
So it's less a nice to have and more like a necessary fix for just not getting enough sunlight, helping fight off that sluggish feeling.
Right. And then you look at something like iron, crucial for energy because it carries oxygen. But low iron, it causes this deep fatigue that sleep just doesn't touch.
I know people who've dealt with that.
Yeah, and the point isn't just iron helps blood. It's that a simple deficiency, easily missed, can make you feel seriously unwell, can really mess with your quality of life until you figure it out.
That's a great point. Supplements fixing a hidden problem caused by our lifestyle or environment. And calcium, of course. You can't forget that, especially as we get older. Bone density.
Definitely. And pairing it with vitamin D, like you mentioned, that's a powerful combo for keeping bones strong long term.
Okay, so those are the micro essentials. What about the big stuff? Protein.
Protein supplements. Yeah, a lot of people still think that's just for, gym rats.
Right. Big tubs of powder.
But the sources really pushed back on that. Yes, whey, soy, pea protein, whatever. They definitely help muscles recover and grow faster after exercise, no question. But the broader picture is maintaining muscle mass as we age. That's crucial for keeping your metabolism from slowing down. And protein helps you feel full, which is, useful for managing weight. It's more about staying functional, really.
Functional fuel, not just muscle fuel. Got it. Okay, so foundation's covered. Now let's get into the more specialized stuff. The sources had a section on herbal supplements, calling them nature's pharmacy, which I liked.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. These are plant-based, used for specific effects.
People know some, like echinacea, maybe, for colds?
Sure, that's a common one. But then you get into things like turmeric, its active compound, curcumin. There's a lot of research now, not just tradition, backing its anti-inflammatory effects. Really helpful, potentially, for chronic issues.
Interesting. And what about valerian root for sleep? How's that different from something like melatonin?
Well, that's the interesting part. Melatonin is a hormone your body makes. Valerian seems to work differently, maybe by interacting with certain brain chemicals, neurotransmitters, to promote calm. It's a kind of gentler path to sleep for some people, without that heavy feeling, maybe.
So different mechanisms for similar goals. That leads nicely into amino acids, right? The building blocks of protein, but taken individually.
Exactly. This is where it gets really targeted. Like BCAAs, branched-chain amino acids, athletes love them.
Why those specifically?
Because they get processed directly in the muscles, they don't have to go through the liver first, so they get to work really fast, which is why they seem to help with recovery and reduce that post-workout soreness or fatigue. It's like a direct delivery system.
Okay. Rapid muscle support.
But amino acids aren't just for muscles. Think about brain function. Something like L-theanine, often found in green tea, it's an amino acid people use to feel focused, but calm. No caffeine jitters. Shows you how versatile these molecules are.
Same building block, totally different job. Okay, We also need to talk fats. Fatty acids, specifically omega-3s.
Oh, absolutely. Crucial. Omega-3s.
Usually from fish oil, right? Known for heart health.
Yes, they're great for cardiovascular health, things like inflammation, blood flow. But the sources also really highlighted the brain connection. Good omega-3 levels are linked to better mood, better cognitive function, basically throughout your life.
And what if you don't eat fish?
Good question. The sources mentioned alternatives, which is great. Things like flaxseed oil or even algae-based supplements. They provide the right kinds of fatty acids, so vegetarians and vegans have solid options too. That's important.
Definitely. Okay, final category, and it's a really popular one right now. Gut health. Prebiotics and probiotics.
The inner ecosystem. Probiotics are the good live bacteria, and prebiotics are essentially the food for those bacteria, usually types of fiber.
And the obvious use is digestion, right? Like after you've had antibiotics.
That's the key one, yeah. Antibiotics can wipe out good bacteria along with the bad, so probiotics help restore that balance. But the really big insight here is the gut-brain axis.
I've heard about this.
It's huge. The health of your gut impacts everything. Nutrient absorption, immune system strength, even your mood.
Yeah.
Your gut bacteria actually help produce some neurotransmitters. So looking after your gut, it's foundational health, really. It connects to almost every other system.
Wow, okay. So we've got the categories. Vitamins, minerals, protein, herbals, aminos, fatty acids, and gut stuff. How does someone actually choose? The options are overwhelming.
It has to be personal. The sources emphasize that. You need to look at your specific situation. What are your goals? Boosting immunity, better joints, glowing skin? Or are there known gaps? Like, do you have a family history of osteoporosis?
Then maybe calcium and vitamin D should be on your radar.
Exactly. Or if you're an athlete pushing your body hard, maybe those BCAAs or extra protein make sense. If you're under a ton of stress, maybe omega-3s or L-theanine for cognitive support. You match the supplement to the need, ideally based on some data like blood tests or known dietary gaps.
The sources had some good real-life examples too, didn't they?
Yeah, they really help illustrate the point. Like the person who is just constantly exhausted, dragging themselves through the afternoon.
Thought it was maybe just not enough coffee.
Right. But a simple blood test showed they were low in iron. Took an iron supplement and bam, energy levels came back up. That's using a supplement to correct a real deficiency. The difference can be dramatic.
That makes sense. Fixing a broken link in the chain.
Compare that to, say, the story about zinc. We know zinc helps the immune system, but this person found it also really helped clear up their acne.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so that's less about fixing a deficiency and more about optimizing a system's skin health. In this case, maybe giving it extra support because of hormonal factors or something else.
And there were examples about joint pain too, right? Glucosamine and chondroitin helping people stay active.
Providing relief from everyday aches and pains, allowing them to keep doing things they enjoyed. So it's this mix, correcting problems and optimizing function. But you need to choose wisely.
Which brings us squarely to safety. This is super important.
Absolutely non-negotiable. Supplements are generally safe, but you have to be smart about it.
First question, are they safe? Generally, yes, if used right.
Yes, follow the recommended dosages. But the big warning sign from all the sources was interactions. Supplements can mess with prescription drugs. Omega-3s and blood thinners, like you said earlier, that's a classic example. You have to talk to your doctor or pharmacist, especially if you're on other medications.
And taking more isn't better, right?
Definitely not always,
Yeah.
especially with fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, K. They can build up in your body and cause problems if you take way too much. The dosage recommendations are there for a reason. It's about safety.
Okay, and let's bust the biggest myth. Can you just take supplements instead of eating well?
Absolutely not. A hard no. They are called supplements for a reason. They add to your diet. They don't replace it.
You still need actual food.
You absolutely need whole foods, fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains. They give you fiber, tons of different antioxidants, all sorts of compounds that supplements just can't replicate working together. Food is the foundation. Supplements are, well, support beams, maybe.
Good analogy.
Boom.
Okay, last practical question. People want to know how long it takes. When do you see results?
The million-dollar question. It really varies. Fixing that iron deficiency. You might feel better in a few weeks. Trying to boost your omega-3 levels for brain health. That might take a couple of months of consistent use to really build up.
So patience is key.
Patience and consistency. You have to take them regularly for them to work. It's not usually an overnight thing.
Right. So wrapping this up, it feels like the main takeaway is that supplements can be really valuable tools, but they're personalized.
Yeah.
Not magic, but effective if you choose wisely and do your homework.
That's it, exactly. Balance.
Right.
They work best alongside a healthy diet and lifestyle, not instead of them. Listen to your body, maybe get some tests done, talk to a professional, figure out if you have a real need or a specific goal they can help with. And maybe a final thought for you to chew on, building on what we discussed. We talked about the gut-brain axis, how probiotics for digestion can affect your mood. Think about what other hidden connections might exist.
Like what?
Well, maybe that amino acid you're taking primarily for focus also has subtle benefits for your immune system. Or perhaps an herbal supplement for relaxation is also helping with inflammation in ways you didn't expect. It makes you wonder what other specialized supplements might be having these quiet, far-reaching positive effects across different body systems. That interconnectedness, that's where things get really interesting.